Hello. Okay. Okay. So, hello, Assalamu alaikum, students. This is your teacher Azka, and today this video is totally dedicated to O-levels and IGCSE accounting students, and you have your exams tomorrow. So, I just come up with one more video about about maybe different important topics, and also I am going to give you some advices for attempting paper one. So, first of all, let's talk about the important topics. I'm not going to give you the hint or maybe, the questions or maybe the chapters which will surely come. I'm just going to give you a hint, or maybe I'm just going to tell you the most repetitive uh, topics from the past papers. Okay. And which type of mistakes you should not make in your paper one. So these type of things I'm going to tell you in today's video. So first of all, the first thing is that which is very important, because I have seen many students, they are in O levels. They have done their O levels in maximum, I think, 3 years, but they don't know about the double entry system. It means that they don't know that if any transaction is incurring in any business, so how can that transaction would be affecting two types of accounts or maybe more than this. And even they don't know that what is the nature of each and every account. So first of all, if you want to, if you just want that your paper one should go good, so first of all you should work on your concept regarding the double entry system, because we know that our financial accounting is like the base of the financial accounting is the double entry system. If you don't know the nature of your accounts, if you don't know what is the double entry system, so it means that you cannot even attempt any single question uh, expecting the definitions. You cannot solve any question. So that's why first of all you should strong your concepts regarding the double entry system. Second thing is, the examiner would ask you to find out the correct profit with the help of draft profit. So just remember one thing. If you want to make yourself able to do this question correctly, okay, so you should know the relationship or the difference between the capital expenditure and the revenue expenditure. You should know the capital expenditure would not record in the profit and loss statement, it would only record in the statement of financial position. And your revenue expenditure would always record in the income statement, it would not record in the statement of financial position. So you should know that whenever you are maybe mistakenly recorded capital expenditure in the income statement, so how this will be affecting your profit. Will it be affecting your profit negatively or positively? So this can only be possible when you know that what is the relationship or what is the main difference between the capital and the revenue expenditure. And the second thing is, if you want to grab a very strong command over this topic, so the second thing is very important is that you should know the relationship between the sales with the GP with the profit, relationship of the cost of sales with the GP and with the profit. And also in the cost of sales, you know that what is the relationship between the purchases, opening inventory, carriage inwards, purchases return, and closing inventory. So you should know that what are the relationship of these things with the cost of sales. You know about this thing. You should know. So just remember that whenever your sales are increasing, okay, whenever your sales are increasing, so it would be increasing your gross profit also. Just with the proviso that your cost of sales is not increasing and it should not, like if this is remaining same, if your cost of sales remaining same and your sales are increasing, only then your GP would increase. And if your cost of sales are decreasing, your GP would increase. And now remember that in the cost of sales, the things which is adding in the cost of sales, those things would be causing an increase in the cost of sales. And the things which is decreasing or which is subtracting from the cost of sales, that would be causing a decrease in your cost of sales. For example, if the purchases are increasing, if the opening inventory is increasing, okay, and if the carriage inventory is increasing, so at that time your cost of sales would increase. And if the closing inventory is increasing, and if the purchases return is increasing, so it means that your cost of sales would decrease. So it means that you have to think about its relationship. And we know that if the GP is increasing and your expenses is decreasing, so it means that your profit would increase. And if they don't talk about the expenses, if they only talk about the GP, that if the GP is increasing, so simply means that your profit is also increasing. So these things are very important. Okay, you should know the relationship between these things. Okay, and after that, the source documents. You should know that what whenever a transaction is going to happen or happening, so you should know that which type of source document will be using for this calls. You should know about a debit note, you should know about the credit note, you should know about the check counter foil, and also not only that what are the documents, what are a source document, how can we use them. You should also revise that what are the benefits of these source documents. And also you should go through the um, a simple format of the trial balance. Okay, and after that, you should revise the format of the sale ledger control account. It means the SLCA and the PLCA. Not only the format of SLCA and PLCA, also you should know about their uses and about their benefits. Because if you don't know, so I want to tell you that there are many questions I have seen in the past papers that they always maybe giving you this kind of questions in which they will be listing four benefits, and they will ask that how many of these options is related to the benefits of preparing the sale control account. So that's why theory is very important. And one thing I want to tell you that in your paper one, your 80% of paper would be testing you about the definitions, about the knowledge, about the understanding, about the understanding of the formats, about the understanding of the pros, cons, uses, importance, definitions. So you should revise all these things. So most of the time, examiner would ask you to find out the missing figures from these ledgers. Maybe if you're preparing for your ledger control account, so they will be asking you to find out discount received. Maybe they will asking you to find out the receipt which you have given to your supplier. Maybe they will asking you about to find out the purchases for the year. And if the question is related to incomplete records, and if the examiner will ask you to find out the gross profit, and maybe they will be giving you some information which is related to the PLCA. So it means that through the PLCA you can find out your purchases. Okay, and from the sale related control account you can find out your sales revenue, and through these information you can find out your gross profit easily. So you should know that if the PLCA and SLCA is there, so how can you use this to find out the multiple answers for your questions. Okay, and You don't need to remember the PLCA and basically all the formats of the all the formats of the accounts if you know the nature of account. For example, if you know that capital nature is always correct, whenever the capital is increasing, it would always correct. So if something is happening, if any transaction is happening which is maybe influencing negatively your capital account, so we know that capital is increasing, so it would be carried. So it means that if something is happening negatively and if it is decreasing your capital, so it means it would be debited in the capital account. So it means that if you know again about the for if you know about the nature of the accounts, if you know that what is double entry system, so it is not possible that your paper one will not be going good. Okay. And you should know that how to find profit through given information and with the help of reverse working. I'm talking about the incomplete records. Reverse work can be asked in any form, not only from the incomplete records. Yes. If you know, like if you're just revising the one main thing that maybe you have done many times in the incomplete records, that you can use a closing capital and the drawings and the opening capital, you can just use this reverse working and you can find out your profit. So it's not like that. Examiner would ask you to find out the profit in your income in your for your company accounts. They will be giving you some information about your equity. It means maybe the ordinary share capital. They will be giving you some information about your non-current assets and some information related to non-current liability, means the debentures. And you have to do the reverse working through using these information, and you have to find out a profit for it. So that's why your profit would not only be asking from the incomplete records, it can be asked from any question. And also, we know that markup and margin is also a lifesaver whenever you want to find out your profit, if the question is related to these two things. Okay. And after that, revise the formats of NPO, non-profit organization, all accounts, whether this is subscription account, whether this is income and expenditure account, whether this is receipt and payment account, whether this is a refreshment account. You should revise all the formats of the NPO and their uses. Also, the theory is also very important. So subscription can be, if for example, if the examiner would ask you to find out a subscription, so you should remember that subscription can not only be found through its income, its subscription account. You can find out the subscription with the help of uh, receipt and payment account. It means the cash book. And you can also find out a subscription with the help of income and expenditure account. Okay, with the reverse working. And if you want to find out the cash balance, so you can find out the cash balance through the cash and receipt and payment account, and also you can find out the cash balance with the help of BRS. Yes, you should remember that if you want to find out the balance in the bank account, you can use a BRS. If you want to find out the balance in the cash account, so you can use a BRS. You should know that how to do the reverse working. If you have the bank statement balance, how can you find out the cash balance? And if you have the cash balance, how can you find out the bank balance, bank statement balance? Through the working, through the errors which maybe have done from but maybe from the side of the cashier, or maybe uh, any mistakes maybe them have which may be done with the bank managers. Okay, so we know that most of the time the mistakes which may be done by the bank managers, that would be uncarried checks and unpresented checks. So you should know that how in which times you have to add them, in which time you have to do the alternate working, so you know about it. So you should remember this. I have made a lot of videos on these topics. I have made multiple videos, multiple past papers videos on these topics. That's why I'm not going to give you a very thoroughly calculations, how can you use this information, what is the format of this, because I have made four to five or maybe 5 to 6 videos on the past papers and the topics which I'm talking about right now. So these topics basically discuss in my past paper videos, so you can just watch it. Okay. And whenever you are making the income and expenditure account, for example, insurance account, for example, advertisement account, this is the income expenditure account we know. So just remember the mnemonic. Whenever you are preparing the expense account, you should remember the mnemonic, which is PAP, PAAP, PAP. Through this, you will automatically identify that if the prepaid expenses is maybe if the prepaid expenses at start of the year, so balance BD where to record, on the debit side or on the credit side. So if you are using the mnemonic, so this would be very easy for you to make the accounts of expense and the income. Okay. If you don't know about this mnemonic, so again, you should go through my videos. And I uploaded one video, um, the accruals and prepayments, an year ago. So you can watch that video so you can easily, find out that what I'm talking about. So remember that if examiner asks to find the closing capital, then only use the closing assets and the closing liabilities. Okay. Do not use the opening liabilities and opening assets. Accounting concepts are compulsory. The matching concept, the prudence concept, the going concern concept, the business entity concept, the duality concept. They will be giving you different scenarios, and you have to guess that in each scenario, which type of concept of accounting is following. So you should know the main essence and the main meaning of each and every concept. Only then you will be able to find out the right answer for these type of questions. And also, if we are using the international accounting standards, if we are following all the rules regulation which is set by the international accounting standards, so what would be its benefit? This is also very important. And the financial statements characteristics is also very important. You should know the characteristics, the main characteristics of the financial account, the financial statements. So these questions are very famous. Okay. Learn the format of the manufacturing account, revise the format, revise the concept of direct costs, indirect cost, and cost of production, how the direct cost, and if there is any error in the direct cost and in the direct cost, so how these errors would be affecting the figure, the total figure of the cost of production. So you should revise it also. And after that, inventory valuation. You should know that how to find out the GP through the concept of the inventory valuation, how to find out the closing inventory through the help of inventory valuation. It means a cost or NRV. We have to value our inventory lower NRV or lower cost. So, but they will not only asking you to find out the closing inventory value. They can ask you to find out the GP, gross profit. So you should practice some of the question of inventory valuation and revise the conversion of the markup and margin. This is very important because we know that if we have revenue, okay, and if we don't have the cost of sales and we have the markup, but we know that if you want to find out a GP, so we should have the cost of sales, but we can find out the GP with the help of margin or markup. But remember, we have the markup and we have the revenue. So it means that we know that the markup would only apply on the cost of sales, not on the revenue. So we have to convert the markup into margin. So how can we convert it? We can convert margin into markup with the help of formula. And the formula is that markup over 100 plus markup. And if you want to convert the margin into markup, so you can use the formula margin over 100 minus margin. And why we are, for example, if you want to convert the markup into margin, we have to add the markup. Why? because we are going to convert the markup into margin, and we know that the revenue is always greater than the sales. That's why if you want to convert markup into margin, so we always have to add 100 plus markup. And if we are going to convert margin into markup, so cost of sales is always lower than the revenue. That's why we have to, whenever we have to convert the margin into markup, so just remember that you have to use a formula in which you have to subtract the margin from the 100. Why? Because we are going to, we are basically convert the cost of sales, the markup into margin. And we know the cost of sales is lower than the revenue. That's why we are subtracting the margin from the 100. So this is the basic concept. But if you just want to have like know more about these things, so you can just comment under the comment section. You can ask to me. You can reach me out through my WhatsApp number. You can ask anything, whatever you want. I will be available for you. um, I'm open to any query related to any question. If you want to ask, so you can just simply text me on the WhatsApp. I have made a group for the students, and there are a lot of students. And if you also want to be the part of this team and the part of this group, so you can simply join the WhatsApp group. Okay. And also remember that whenever you are making any account related to the income and expense and depreciation, always highlight the dates. Yes, because for example, we know that if we have paid some extra expense, and which is basically not related to this current year's expense, it is related to another the next following year's expense. So you have to highlight the dates. If you haven't highlighted the dates, if you will not highlight the dates, so it means that it would be very difficult for you to know that which amount you should deduct from the income statement as a prepaid expense, because we know that prepaid expenses would be the current assets for us. That's why. And for the depreciation, you should highlight the dates, because you should know that for how many years you have to charge a depreciation when you have purchased an asset, when you have sold it out, when you have to prepare a disposal account. So this is very important. And for the depreciation, reducing balance method, straight line method is more important. Revaluation is also important, but I have seen very less question related to the revaluation. I have seen most of the question about this straight line method in the RBM. And also remember that learn the benefits and the reasons that why you're charging the RBM, learn the benefits and the reason that why you're charging the straight line method on your assets. This is also very important. You should know that if you have gain on disposal, so how should you treat it in the income statement. If you have made loss on disposal, so how you should treat it in the income statement. This is also very important. And read all the new terminologies from the recent syllabus, because Cambridge has changed its most of the terminologies, and you will be find out in the syllabus, in the new syllabus. So just go through with the all terminologies, but maybe examiner would use a different terminology for any topic, and maybe because you don't aware about those changed terminologies from the CIE, from the Cambridge, so it means that now this would be very difficult for you to comprehend that concept, because you don't know, you are not familiar with the new terminologies. So that's why you should go through one time, only one time. You should download your syllabus, and you will see the new terminologies from, like, you will see that you will find that terminologies from that document, from your syllabus. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some advices for the paper one, and for, yes, for the paper one, I guess. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So paper one, basically we know that contains a 35 multiple choice question, and it can be asked from the any part of your syllabus. And there are a lot of students who always ask that, which topics are maybe most important. So I want to tell, and I always tell them that there is no any single topic which is, we can say, that more important. If you see, if you have done the practice of the past paper, so if you see, like, I don't think so that Cambridge has left only one single topic which is never tested. They always try to gather all the contents of the syllabus, and they always put a question, they always set their question in a way that they make sure that there should not be any chapter left which is never or which is not going to test in the exams. So that's why they can ask from any topic. But yes, I have told you the most repetitive things. Okay. So each correct answer will score 1 mark, as I know, as we know. So a mark will not be deducted for and the incorrect answer. You need to answer all the questions. It means the 30 questions, so we have to solve all the questions. For each questions, these are four possible answers, A, B, C, D. So you have to select one you consider correct and record your choice on the multiple check answer sheet, which not be deducted, which will be given to you with the question paper. Full instructions on how to complete this answer sheet are given on the sheet. You need to complete the answer sheet using a soft pencil. Yes, you should not use a pen, you should use a soft pencil. You will be allowed to use a calculator. 80% of the question will be testing your knowledge and understanding on the topics of the syllabus. Yes. As I said, that you should memorize, you should revise the definitions, importance, pros and cons of something, pros and cons of different accounts, importance of accounts, and also just revise the formats of all accounts, because this is very important. As you can see, that 80% of the question, 80% of your syllabus would be consisted on the understanding and knowledge. So these questions can be taken from any part of the syllabus. Okay. You need to know and understand terms, principles, procedures, and techniques related to the syllabus. And these are testing your knowledge and understanding. 20% of the question will be testing whether you can analyze or use accounting data. It means that you have to interpret the data. These are testing your ability to analyze information. And some questions will require you to perform some calculations, but others will be theoretical. It means that from the 20% of this part of the paper, they will be giving you some calculations and you just have to interpret the information. And maybe sometimes they will be giving you calculation, but most of the questions will be asking from you in this 20% of the part of the MCQs only related to the theoretical data. Theory is also very important. So read each questions very carefully. Attempt the easier question, and once you feel most for one you have one you feel most confident about first. If you know that from the 35 questions, if you know that 20 question is very important, like it is very easy for you, so first of all just do those 20 questions. And once you have done with all the easy questions, so you can go back and attempt the most difficult questions. If you really cannot attempt the answer, make a guess. This is very important. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some other advices. So we know that we have 35 MCQs and we have 1 hour 15 minutes to solve this. So you should, which means that you can allow over 2 minutes for each question, but it's not like that always. Maybe some of the question will be taking your 2.5 minutes or maybe more than this. And maybe some question will be only taking your 1.5 minute. Okay. Because we know some of the question is very easy and very easy to comprehend, very easy to understand, very easy to guess that what would be the answer. But yes, if any question may be consisting a lot of long calculations, so maybe that question will be taking a lot of time from you. So this is just you can use your time wisely. If any question taking a lot of time, so you can give that, but just remember that your maximum time should be 2 minutes for each question. But if maybe you have, maybe if you will save some time from doing the simple questions, you can invest that saved time to solve the other difficult questions. So any calculation should be done on the question paper. You should not use any rough paper here. Indicate the option you have chosen on the answer sheet. This answer sheet gives full instruction on how it should be completed. Some learners prefer to write the answers on the actual question paper first and then transfer them to the answer sheet once they have selected an answer for each question. If you do this, remember to leave time to transfer your answer to the mark sheet. Yes, this is very important to know. Attempt the question you feel most confident about first. This I have told you. Reread the remaining questions. Okay. Uh, there is sometimes a word or a phrase which provide a clue to answer whenever you are doing the most difficult question. So just cross the two least possible correct answer, and after that you have two option to think about. So now this would be very easy for you to understand that in these two options, which is your right option. So that's why when you reread the question, sometimes happen that if there is any question which is very difficult. Okay, so once you read that question, you will automatically you will discourage that this question is very difficult, I cannot do that. But don't think about this too much, just go with the flow. So first of all, just attempt the easiest question. So it means that after some time, maybe you can make yourself calm, and now maybe you are prepared to to solve the most difficult question. Because if you suddenly see any difficult question, so maybe this will obviously discourage yourself to to do that question with the 100% focus. So that's why always do the easiest question first, and after that just reread the information and again, and just cancel out one or two options. So just make easy for yourself to comprehend the remaining three options or remaining two options. So now that means you have to think about only two options rather than four options. So it means that now you can think effectively, now you can solve effectively, and it means that most probably there are great chances that your answer, whatever you're going to select, so that would be right, that would be 100% correct. Okay. um so there are often one or two options which can be discarded as being incorrect, as I had told you. So you may then be able to select the answer from the remaining options. When you cannot decide upon an answer, make an intelligent guess. Yes, this is like, because you guys have been studying the accounting from 3 years, most of the students, I guess. So you have given a lot of tests in your schools, in like in your coaching centers, maybe in to your online tutors, and you guys also have given mocks, and you also have given different final exams and different midterms. So it means that you have read your accounting information multiple times. Okay, so it means that now you should able to guess that what is the right option for this particular question if you don't know that how to solve it. So you should know about it. You should build up a very strong intuition within yourself, that if you don't know that how to solve this question, so but because you have read or you have given multiple exams over the years, so now you should you should be able to to make an intelligent guess. But don't leave your question empty, don't leave your question blank. So where you cannot decide upon an answer, make an intelligent guess. As I said, do not leave any answer blank, and do not leave the examination room early. Use any time at the end of the exam to check your answer and insert answers to any items you left blank. So these are my advices for you. And if you still have any question regarding anything, so you can just reach out to me through my WhatsApp number. You can also join my WhatsApp group for students, which I have made. There are a lot of students there. You can ask anything in the group. You can ask any query, any questions which you find a lot like maybe difficult. And also I have ambition now. I will be coming with a lot of videos for the A levels accounting, for the A levels business, for the O levels business, and for the O levels accounting. Okay, so just subscribe my channel. And if you are an O level student, so this channel would be helpful for you for your A levels also. And if you are maybe an AS level student, so this would be helpful for you in your A2. And I have made an other channel which would be only for the edexcel students. And that on that channel I will be uploading different videos related to the business A levels. And once I completed the business A level videos, so I will be making the videos related to the accounting for A levels and for the A2, but only for the edexcel background. So I will be giving you the second channel link in the description. And also, if you want to take the part of my students team, if you just want to have the online classes from me, so you can also reach out to me through my WhatsApp number. You can take admission. I am going to conduct the sessions for the October November 2024 and also May June 2025 and onwards. So if you are a private student, so I can give you, or if you are a private student, if you are a slow learner, so this is a good news for you that I don't have, most of the time I don't prefer the group classes. I have group classes, but I don't prefer to have group classes. So I can give you the one-on-one session, and that would be very helpful for you. So if you want to get admission in my classes, so you can just text me on my WhatsApp number. So I will be get back to you. So just best of luck for your exams, and Allah Hafiz.